Welcome to Teaching Strategy Tuesdays with Harris Innovation Consulting Group. Today we are going to talk about main idea. Main idea is found in a piece of informational text, but it is a portion of the bigger picture when you're talking about helping students to understand how to summarize a piece of informational text. In kindergarten through second, students learn how to identify the main topic, which is just the subject of the text. Then in about third grade through fifth grade, students then progress to the main idea, which is what the text is mostly about. And then in the upper grades, in 6th through 8th and beyond, they go on to the central idea, which is more abstract, and it talks more about the concept of a piece of informational text. So we're going to get started and talk about the actual main idea. Okay, let's get started. We're going to talk about how to teach students how to identify the main idea, but using key details in the text. Have you ever had a student that you gave a highlighter to and a piece of informational text and said, okay, I want you to identify the main idea and highlight all of the key details? Well, in my case, I saw that the student went and highlighted the entire page, which means that they don't understand what that foundational skill is when you're talking about. First, you need to identify the subject of the text, which is the main topic. Then you go on to the main idea, and that will help them later on when they get older. This piece of level text is an article for students to read, and if you notice the title of the actual article, it says, "Do You Bully?" So if I had to ask the students, what do you think the subject of the text would be? The main topic is bullying. Well, that's important for students to know, first and foremost, the main topic, and then eventually we'll start to dig deeper into what exactly the author wants us to know as the reader. So as you read on, you start to get a better idea of the information or exactly what the author wants us to walk away with a better understanding of. So often we tell students that they can read the topic sentence or the first sentence in a piece of text, and that would be the main idea. Well, in this case, it's not. And most times you don't find the main idea in the first sentence. So as students are reading on with this particular passage, they'll start to find out that they'll have to craft their own main idea. If you were to read onto this actual passage, you would see that the author really wants you to know what a bully looks like, the characteristics of a bully, so that it's not really the big kid on the playground, but it could be the cheerleader and so forth. After the students have identified the main idea of a piece of informational text, then they would go in to identify key details. When students are identifying the main idea and the key details, they'll start to understand that there is a relationship between key details and main ideas. It will help them later on when they go on to summarize. So a great activity that you can use with your students, I just pulled out a sheet protector, and then you have the article that I printed online. So here you have the article inside of a sheet protector, and you will give your students two things. One, a dry erase marker, and the next one would be an actual highlighter. With the dry erase marker, you want students to read through, and then they would first circle the actual topic of the passage. So the topic of this passage is bullying. After the students are reading on, they will look for the main idea. In this case, the main idea is not explicitly stated, so they would have to craft their own main idea. So with the dry erase marker, they'll write it at the bottom. In this case, the main idea is that bullies come in different shapes and sizes. Now with the highlighter, students will choose only 3 key details. And I say 3 because you want them to be very selective of the key details that they choose within a piece of text. So for the sake of the video, I'll go ahead and highlight 3 random key details in the piece of text. So then students would have a piece of paper in which the topic is identified, the main idea is identified, and the key details. So when they're going to craft their summary, they can go ahead and get a good summary that deals directly with what the author wants the reader to know. They can choose to write it on the back of the the page, or they can go ahead and write it in their journal. Either way, their key details, the main idea, everything would work together so that a great summary would come out of them understanding the piece of text better. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for joining Harris Innovation Consulting Group for Teaching Strategies Tuesdays. You can follow us on Facebook at Harris Innovation Consulting Group or on Twitter at Dr. Tawanda Harris. Happy teaching!